pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On behalf of the board, I welcome everybody here tonight. Mr. Latchmore, can you take a roll call attendance, please?
Trustee Pelkey. Here. Trustee Menard.
Here.
Trustee Southwick.
Present.
Trustee Arno.
Present.
Mayor LaBounty.
Here. There's nobody signed up to address the board from the public, so we'll go, the next thing on the agenda is the minutes of the November 18, 2024 regular meeting. All the trustees should have that in their packet. If there's any adjustments or amendments, deletions, I'd like to know about. If not, then I need a motion to accept the minutes as printed.
I make a motion we accept the minutes as printed.
Second.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes of the November 18, 2024 regular meeting as printed, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Bills, any additions, deletions, Mr. Treasurer?
None this evening.
Okay, thank you. Everybody should have a copy of the bills in their packet. If there's no questions on those bills, then I need a motion to pay those bills.
Make a motion we pay the bills as printed.
Second.
All those in favor of paying the bills as printed, say aye.
Aye.
All those against it, say no. No. Correspondence, Mr. Latchmore.
I only have one item this evening, Mr. Mayor. It says, thank you to all of our village workers for the beautiful light decorations on all of our street lamps. Took a ride through after dinner yesterday and was amazed at how evenly distributed they managed it. Truly heart-lifting, and thanks. Sincerely, lifelong resident, Mrs. Beal.
That's very nice of Mrs. Beal. We publicly want to thank her. Anything else, Mr. Latchmore?
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Under myself, the only thing I'd like to say is the people at home could see that renovations are underway in the boardroom. I'm very glad to announce by the time we're done, we'll have a new renovated boardroom. I would like to publicly thank Mr. Heath Cardet, the rec center manager, and some of the workers here, as well as some of the public works workers. This is all going to be done by in-house, and I believe it's starting to take shape, and I think it's something the residents will be very proud of once it's done. That's all I have. Trustee Arnold, do you have anything?
Yes, after the train station, I'd like to take and have get the board approval for having the historian open up on Thursdays up there, if it's okay with the village board.
I think right now we don't utilize it enough. I think that'd be a good idea. I think having the historian up there, having Mr. Racine up there, he could probably explain a few things that people don't know that are visitors. And right now, I don't even think we open it 2-3 weeks a year, do we?
Oh, from May until September.
Is it open every day?
No, once on Saturday.
Once on
for 2
Saturday,
hours.
that's right. That's why I mean, we can utilize another day.
Oh, yeah.
And then people have a little more access to it,
Right.
visitors as well as residents. I don't see a problem with that unless somebody else on the board does.
Sounds like a great idea.
Is he planning on having it only open for 2 hours? Just like
No,
you
usually from 10 till 3 or 4.
said? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, next year, I think we ought to put some porta potties, or one anyhow, or something up at the train station for the Christmas train that comes through. We had probably about 40 people that use the restroom in the train station. If we wouldn't have been there, I don't know where they would have went, knocked on somebody's door or something or whatever, but we had quite a few, Brian, that come in. Yeah.
We served over 200.
Yeah.
Could we just open the train station?
Well, we did, but the only trouble is there's a lot of stuff in there, and you get too many people in there, you
You can't keep track of it.
can't keep track of them. You know?
No,
Somebody will walk out with a book or something like that or whatever, and
yeah, no, I
I'm
think
not saying they would, but.
no,
it just takes once.
Yes.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with renting a porta potty or two. That's, it seems like for
Yeah,
a
it's a
good
good
day, it's for raising charity. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a comment one way or the other?
No.
No, I think I think we have board approval of that, trustee Arnold. I think
Okay.
next year, do your due diligence and we'll rent some, and we'll go from there.
Okay. And also, Friday night is the Parade of Toys. It starts at 6 p.m. at the park on Lake Street. And we're serving, after the lighting ceremony, we're serving hot chocolate and donuts and cookies or whatever. So I wish everybody in the village could come.
Yeah, and Mr. Latchmore, the administrator, got Santa Claus to come down for the kids, so we'll have a good time on that day. And we want all the residents to come out. We've, Mr. Latchmore and the girls in the office have went out of their way to get some nice goodies for the kids. And we're all gonna work, and they're gonna get some nice hot chocolate, apples, donuts, and Santa will talk to all the kids. So as trustee Arnold said, I hope all the residents come out and take advantage of this.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Menard, trustee Menard.
Just like to make, with your comments, the boardroom looks great. I'd like to thank the employees that work and are doing a great job. And also, I'd like to thank the crews that did the lights. They look fantastic. I think everybody's seen that, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Pelkey.
Yes, I need an executive session for employment history of a particular employee.
I'll second that.
All those wishing to go in the executive session at the end of the regular meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. We will take adjournment and go into executive session at the end of the meeting. Anything else, trustee Pelkey?
Yes, last meeting I talked about working with the Public Works on some projects that we're looking to do or possibly do with board permission. As you know, we're getting a new fire truck, and we're going to surplus the tanker and another fire truck. We're getting rid of 2 trucks and getting 1. The tanker's a 1990. It's got 25,000 miles on it. So what we're doing is we're thinking about if we sell these vehicles, if we don't get anything for them, we might be better off to keep them and utilize them as a dump truck to start upgrading some of our fleet. The tanker's in very good shape and kept inside all its life, and it only has 25,000 miles on it, and it's a heavy-duty truck. And what's nice about the older trucks is it doesn't have all the computers and all the technology that we have today with the DEF systems. So
And we can do all that house
we
in-house.
can do that all in-house. So what we did is had Adam and Johnny start pricing out some, like a box for it and the hydraulics, whatever it would take. And they're estimating about $15,000. If we get, if we go out and we try to sell these trucks and somebody only offers us, $10,000, $15,000 for the truck, I think we should keep it and utilize it ourselves and make us a good dump truck. And you can always sell the stainless steel tank off because people are always looking for these tanks for like sap syrup people. So that's
And if
one.
we had to go buy a dump truck, we'd be spending a lot more than that.
Yes, and what's nice about this truck is it's a heavy-duty truck. It was built for the fire department, it was spec'd out through the village. And it has a Cummins diesel engine in it, and it's got an Allison automatic, so we start getting rid of some of these standard shift trucks that we have. The second project that we're looking at is, as you know, every year we put money in the budget for a new plow truck. The problem with the plow truck is it's a 2006. That truck was supposed to be a 20-year truck. I actually spec'd that when I was public works supervisor. And the problem with the plow truck is it sees this weather, it goes in and out, hot and cold, and the frames are rusty on it. That's the problems that we've been having with all our fleet of trucks is they rot out. It's not because they're wore out, it's because they rot out. And when they rot out, they don't pass inspection, especially when you get holes in frames and whatever. So as of 2015, when we started buying when we replaced the truck fly, the small white dump truck, the frame had a big hole in it when it passed inspection. So as of 2015, we started implementing undercoating our own trucks. So we bought the gun and the tools to do all our own undercoating. So every truck since 2015 to present has been undercoated. So the frames last. And that takes care of all the brake cables, all the connectors, everything underneath. So it's kind of it saves you in the long run. The problem with our trucks that we have now is, like I said, they're starting to rot out, they're starting to rust out. Our plow truck, to replace that plow truck, you're talking over $250,000. And the problem with that is it takes 2 years to get one built. By the time you spec out the truck, they just don't have these things on the lot where you can go buy them. We've been looking to see, to get prices and to get specs and whatever. They just don't have them on the lot. And every dealer you talk to said, yeah, it's a 2-year project. Well, do we want to wait 2 years and spend $250,000? Or do we start looking around for a different option? So I talked to the public works supervisor, and we're kicking around the option of maybe buying a used vehicle. Something that is a quarter of the price and only has 40,000 miles on it. So he did bring back some literature. They went up to the coal, the mashes, and they brought back some literature. And the one plow truck that was up there that they looked at has 40,000 miles on it.
That's kilometers. So it's gonna be 20 some odd thousand miles. 20,000 miles on it. And what year was that?
2011.
2011.
And the price tag was?
Just 1 second. Caught me off guard. 63,000.
63,000. So instead of spending $250,000 in new trucks, we might be better off to start buying these used trucks if they're in good shape. Especially, the problem with the new vehicles today is everything is computer. And they have all the DEF systems. They have so many parts to it that it makes it tough to maintain these things. You have to bring them back to the dealer.
And this is something you looked at in Canada?
Yes.
With the difference in the money exchange, would that even be better for us? I mean, we got a third.
That's US, that's US funds.
That's US funds? Oh, okay.
I know we've been putting money away for years for this plow truck. And how much do we have in reserve roughly for that plow truck?
About 96,000 if memory serves me.
About 96,000, so we're way off from $250,000. It's just something that, if the board has time, I would like to have the conversation with the public works and look at the literature that they're bringing back to us and see if this is a viable option for us.
Well, speaking to with John Bernard, our mechanic, and Adam Bernard, the supervisor, it seems like that truck is in rough shape and is getting so close to rusty, it's having a hard time passing inspection, so we gotta make a decision, I would say within the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or we're gonna be in trouble.
Oh, it's before that.
It's before that?
Way before that.
Probably
Okay.
months.
Yeah, probably next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I know they explained it was really, the frame was really rusted, but I figured we might have another 2 years out of it, but apparently not.
Well, I don't know if we,
And what year is
I
that
don't
truck?
wanna take a chance.
2006.
2006. So,
It was spec'd out to be a 20-year truck, but back.
You're 18.
okay. Without the undercoating, it's not gonna last 20 years.
Problem with the 2006 truck is what everybody came up with, they started double framing these trucks. They put 2 frames, one inside the other. That's the worst thing you can do because the rust gets in between them and starts pushing the frames away. So then, now they're going back to a single frame truck, or they're going to a box frame truck. You're getting away from that double plated. And with the undercoating, we've seen a big difference in our fleet of how the frames are staying clean.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think all the trustees should take a few minutes, stop into the office and see the paperwork. Because it's like trustee Pelkey said that time, if a new truck is staring us right in the face and it's coming sooner than we want. So we better make some intelligent decisions and have some information. So I think that's a good idea.
Just one other thing to add, that plow truck also has a sander already on it and everything, so we wouldn't have to.
Yes.
Purchase
The
that.
truck that we're looking at has the sander, the plows, everything on it. And like they said, they got 20,000 miles on it, and if you can buy it for that price, I mean,
Is it worth taking a look at?
Yeah, absolutely. You and I, the administrator, or you and Trustee Arno, or the administrator, look at it.
Well, Arsen has to be in this conversation also, you know, as the treasurer, because,
Yeah.
you know, this is reserved money, and.
Oh, absolutely, but I mean, the first thing we gotta determine if it's something that fits our needs, and it's something that's in good shape enough for us to spend this money, and then we'll talk about the expenditures, I think, but at first, we don't know if it's something that's gonna fit our needs right yet, so.
Well, it seems to fit our needs.
It seems to fit our needs.
What we're
Okay.
looking at. It's just, we're looking for direction of, do we wait, hold out another 2 years for a new $250,000 plow truck, or do we start
And something like
replacing
this,
it? Some of
something
this-
like this may not be available.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing too, is we hope that we're gonna get 2 more years out of that truck. We really don't know, and
Yeah.
you really don't wanna be stuck behind the 8 ball.
Well, I know, and speaking to the mechanic, it's gloom and doom on that truck, so it doesn't sound like, I said maybe a couple of years, but maybe I was just hoping for the best, but anyway.
Well, I mean, if we purchase the used truck, we might get a couple of years out of it. We could use it
As a spare.
as a spare,
backup,
you know, and then we have.
So this isn't a long-term fix, this is just a short-term fix.
Right.
No. Obviously, we have to address it because it's coming soon, as far as this truck passing inspection and be able to perform what it does.
Well, we only have one plow truck, and it's really, we depend a lot on it. Where if we did,
Every something.
buy a used truck, we'd always have a backup also. And we can get rid of one of the older trucks, like, truck 2 is 1998. It's the oldest one in our fleet,
You know?
and that's standard, and only limited people can drive that.
Sounds
Something to
good.
think about.
Yeah, something to think about, for sure.
Trustee Pelkey, in terms of time, are you thinking this is something that would be dealt with next budget cycle or sooner than that?
Sooner than that.
Okay. I know you brought up purchases outside of budget before, but
Right.
that's why I wanted to ask.
Well, the only reason that I did bring it up is because we do have $98,000 in reserve,
And this
where-
sounds like right way
where we could purchase this and
Not have to shift money around.
not have to worry and shift money around, and we can
No.
still save.
Right. Not have to worry where we're gonna come up with the other 150,000.
And where you're gonna buy the truck,
Right.
that's the next one.
We,
I mean, you can have $250,000 in your hand right now.
yeah, you
It's
can't
gonna
get a truck
take
for
2
2
years
years.
to get the truck.
Right. Exactly. I don't think we can wait 2 years. Well, I think it's a risk to wait 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's a high risk.
And if the board gets time, you can go down and look at the fleet that we have, and they'll explain to you what you want to do, what they're thinking about. You know, taking the box off one and put on the tanker, or buy a box for the tanker. And this one here comes with a sander on it, so it would be in the wintertime, the sander would go on it, in the summertime, the box would go on it. So that it would switch it out.
And the box would come from truck 2, so.
Yes. Then we would get rid of some of these trucks, like truck 2, truck 3, those are the next 2 trucks that we want to get rid of.
Perfect. Okay, anything else, trustee Pelkey?
Nope, that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Selwick.
I have no microphone, so apologies if I'm a little hard to hear me. I'll do my best. Just
First, to pass on some information that was passed on to all of us from our county legislator, Calvin Castine. He did inform us all and wanted us to pass this on that starting off in January 6th, customs will be cutting down from 24 hours to just 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So passing that information on as requested. And I also wanted to echo what Trustee Menard said in echoing the mayor's comments regarding the boardroom. Obviously, it's in the middle of a makeover right now, but it's much needed, and it's one of several projects that, for people who follow the board meetings, will know we've mentioned this before. We have other projects in the works, and these are we're starting to see the results of them. So that's good to see, and in 25, we're probably going to see a few more projects come to fruition, or at least start to. That's something to look forward to. That's all I have.
Okay. And in regards to that border, I just want the residents to know that myself as the mayor or the administrator did not know about these hours changing. The federal authorities didn't consult with me or the administrator on what the hours were and if they were going to be convenient for the residents or not convenient at all. I believe that Mr. Castine, our legislature, was informed of it before I knew about it, and in the future I would just ask him if he would come to the meeting and inform the public as our area legislator to appear and give more information, because obviously I don't have that information, and apparently he got more information at one of the legislatures than I did, and I would have appreciated Mr. Castine to show up, but in the future we'll have that conversation. But the border hours, as far as I know, will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the only, one of the most difficult things that we have to work out, and I don't know if it's been worked out yet, and either Trustee Arnold or Trustee Pelkey would know about it more than I would, maybe, being in the fire department. Our mutual aid agreement with Lacole and Hemmenford, how is that going to work? There used to be a key, my understanding that they had a key, that there was a gate, and they could open the gate for the fire trucks and go through. Is that still going to be something, or has that been discussed with Mike LeBlanc, the fire chief, or anything, or do you know?
I don't know.
I haven't heard.
We haven't heard
You
anything.
haven't heard anything?
No.
Mr. Mayor, have you heard anything about Canadian side? Is the Canadian side still gonna be open 24?
We haven't heard anything. That's why I would, if legislator Castine knows anything more about this, I would appreciate him coming to our meeting and telling us about the hours, the mutual aid agreement, the Canadian side. There's a lot of questions from myself, and I'm sure the residents have it. And right now, I don't have the answers, unfortunately, and the federal government people are not calling me. So at the end of the day, if he has the answer, I would appreciate him showing up at the meeting and informing us at the same time. So I'll just throw that out there. Other than that, anything, anybody else want to address the board? No? Without further ado then, I need a motion to,
Scott wants to address.
what is it? Oh, Scott,
So-
I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't.
It's okay. So Brian and I had worked with Risa Power recently with transformer for the porter, the circuit switch. They came out, inspected it. They determined that there was no visible leak or damage. After that was done, they came back since. They tested our gas, our cylinders, determined that all the gas that we have on site is good. They recharged the circuit switcher. It is operational now. Brian and I energized it last week, and the porter transformer is back on. We haven't put load on it yet, but we'll probably do that later this week.
So everything went according to expectations? Or?
Expectations, yes,
Perfect.
but with limited knowledge on where the gas went. We are unsure.
So we're going to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't get.
So on Mondays now, we are taking a visual picture of the gauge and saving that and writing down the actual pressure instead of just check marking on a list as it being okay.
Okay, very good. Anybody else have any questions on that? No?
I have one other thing for trustee Arnold to mention. The fire department for December, it's gonna be.
Oh, December 14th is the kids' Christmas party. We get fire truck rides and from noon till 3.
And the fire department's having a parade of lights when?
Don't know. I haven't heard yet.
Right,
It's December 8th,
December 8th.
December 8th, is it?
this Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Because I know they've done more already.
So,
Did Moore's last night,
Yeah.
Champlain last Saturday night, so they're doing Rouses Point next Sunday.
December 8th at
6 o'clock?
At 6 o'clock, the lineup is at the boat launch, and it's the same route that they usually take.
Okay.
Perfect.
and Mr. Fabro, the Speedo run.
Yeah.
Speedo run will be on the 14th at 3 o'clock, leaving latitude 45, a 1K run.
Just to let
If any of
everybody
you
know.
board members want to come down and run in your Speedo for the 1K,
And,
raising money for the 4th of July committee.
And for the audience out there that's listening and watching this, Matt sent me a picture of a Speedo he bought. You gotta go and see it.
No comment from the board.
Paid a lot of money for it.
Oh, boy.
Anything else, Mr. Latchmore?
That's all.
Okay. Without further ado, I need a motion to recess to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor of going to executive session, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. We will now recess and go into executive session.
Back in the regular session.
Second?
All those in favor of going back to regular session, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. We are now back in regular session. We went into executive session and discussed the hiring of a part-time employee for the winter, Mr. Kim Bennett, and Mr. Trustee Pelkey brought this up, and we all as a board agreed that thinks it's a good idea, and we'll let Trustee Pelkey put it in the form of a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to put in a form of motion that we hired Kim Bennett from December 9th through to March 28th as a temporary part-time employee to fill in,
No later than
no later than the 28th.
that.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, Mr. Latchmore.
Trustee Pelkey,
Aye.
trustee Menard,
Aye.
trustee Southwick,
Aye.
trustee Arno,
Aye.
Mayor O'Downey.
Aye, the ayes have it. Mr. Bennett will be hired as a part-time employee until March 28th. Anything else, gentlemen? If not, then I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Thank you, gentlemen.
You go to that fire bed?
Nope. I went to the station, but